Hello, I'm Vivian McGrath from vivianmcgrath.com, and in this video I'm going to be talking about emotionally immature parents and how to heal. How to heal from being the child also of narcissistic parents. I've had such an incredible response to my two videos on this subject, and a lot of people have been asking me the question, how do you heal if you've been brought up in a family that's toxic, or perhaps you have toxic relationship with your parents? How to heal if you've been raised by a narcissistic parent? And what are the steps that you can take to break free from the impact they have on your adult life as an adult children of that, and how you can heal. So I'm just going to talk off the top of my head, but I wanted to get this video out because it's just been the most incredible response, and I'm so glad that those videos have been helpful to you, and thank you so much for sending me your comments and telling me your stories and all sharing together and helping each other, because that's been amazing. The first thing I would say is you need to detach, because you've grown up as the child of this parent, but now you're an adult. You need to, in a way, recalibrate your relationship with them as adult to adult. Yes, the impact of what happened to you as a child is going to affect your adult life, but the only way to change it is to recalibrate that relationship. And the first way to do that is to detach from your parent. You are not an extension of them, and you are now a separate adult in your own right. So detach from them in the sense, of being able to sit there and observe them as a separate being to you. And one way to look at it is to see them, because this sort of negative patterns of behavior pass down from generation to generation. So in a way, you can look at them as a damaged child from their childhood. And in a way, that can take some of the blame that you might feel out of it. If you detach and just observe their behavior for what it is: childish, selfish, narcissistic, behavior that doesn't nurture or didn't nurture your needs as a child, but was only serving their needs because they are a screwed up child, probably brought up by emotionally immature parents themselves. So try to detach from them and observe them and their behavior as something that is separate to you. You are not to blame for it. You're not responsible for it, no matter what they say to you. And as I said, you're not an extension of them. So see it for what it is and realize what of that behavior is unacceptable to you if you want to move forward as a healthy adult. You also need to grieve the loss of the parent that you thought you would have. That sort of TV family version of happy families. Everything's rosy, everything's loving, everything's picture perfect. In some of these families, yes, from the outside it does look like that, but they can be very toxic on the inside. And if you are the child of a narcissistic parent, or a family in which it's very dysfunctional and very toxic, then chances are you are going to have to grieve, sadly, the loss of what that parent should have been, could have been, you wish and hoped have been, and the adult that nurtured your needs as a child, not the spoilt child that they are themselves. So grieving the loss of that as well, when you see them for what they really are and stop having this fantasy image that you're hoping that they'll become. You know, they might not become that, so you will have to grieve the loss of that fantasy. Another step is to set really strong boundaries with them. You know, especially if it's a parent who's leaning on you, they're elderly and they're leaning on you and making you responsible for absolutely everything in their life, and even possibly threatening you with, if you don't, you will be cut out of their life forever. You know, boundaries are really important in all relationships, not just relationships if a parent is toxic or emotionally immature. Boundaries protect you, and they tell others how you wish to be treated and how they are to respect you. So boundaries, you know, if, for example, whenever you do take a parent to that doctor's appointment, they spend the 2 hours berating you and telling you how you're no good, you're worthless, how you're not as good as your sibling, whatever, that is unacceptable. Explain to them, I'm happy to take you to your doctor's appointment, but if you are going to belittle me in this way, then I will no longer do so. And if necessary, some people have to go full no contact, especially if they need time to get support and counselling help, or whatever time they need to really work on themselves and their own healing, because sometimes you're so enmeshed with that parent, it's very difficult to. So the boundary might be that you are going no contact for a period of time. It might even be forever to some people. Only you will know what is right for you and what you need to do in order to heal. And then if you can, recalibrate your relationship with them as an adult. And if you can't, then seek to surround yourself with other adults who can nurture you and help you grow. Essentially, you're going to have to become the adult to your inner child that they never were to you themselves, and start to nurture yourself with self-love, surrounding yourself with people who love you, care about you, put your needs and well-being first instead of being selfish about their own. Self-love is absolutely key. Especially if your emotional needs weren't met as a child, because you often have that feeling that you've got this hole inside, you feel empty. And if you're enmeshed with a toxic parent in a very codependent and unhealthy way, both of you are trying to fulfill your needs by getting what you need from the other. And you can't ever fulfill the needs and emptiness within you by looking to the outside world. You need to find it within. And self-love and self-worth and just nurturing yourself is key. Become the adult that you need, and find other healthy adults and role models that you can learn from, that inspire you and can become your new family if you need them to be. And the final thing is, if you can, and not everybody can, especially if there's been extreme physical abuse or sexual abuse, and if that's the case, then please go and seek help and support. There is no shame in getting help to work through these feelings of shame and hurt and sadness. But if you can, try to let go of blame, because blame can only sometimes hurt yourself. You know, try, as I said at the beginning, to detach yourself and see that parent or that family member as a damaged child themselves, who they too never got their emotional needs fulfilled. Yes, they can take responsibilities. They're adults themselves for going and get help and support themselves. They can take responsibility to change. But if they can't, well then try to let go and just see, well, that is the way they are. And do I want that in my life? But also to say, well, I can see where it comes from. I forgive them, but I'm now going to let go because they are not serving me. They are not helping me become the person I was born to be and want to grow into now. So I hope that's been helpful. Thank you so much for, as I said, watching my videos and all of your comments and feedback and lovely kind words of support. And if this is helpful, please do share, press the like button and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.